Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the Special Needs Inclusion team today as we present to you Social Stories 101. It's a beginning kind of explanation of what social stories are and how you can utilize them at home with your kids. So I just want to briefly go over some housekeeping rules before we do move forward with this PowerPoint presentation. So one of them being there is a chat in this webinar. So at any point you can ask questions and I will answer them as I go through this presentation. Also, I just wanted to briefly go over Zoom bombing. We did send out an email regarding what this is, but I just wanted to remind you, if someone does join the conversation that should not be here, I will quickly close down this webinar, and I ask that you close down it as well. And we will send you an email with a new passcode, and we will restart this webinar. So to get started, what is a social story? Social stories are a tool that are used to prepare children for social situations that are going to happen in the future. These stories are written in the child's perspective, and they act as a guide to allow the child to know what to expect. There's many benefits to using social stories. Some of them include building literacy skills because it gives the child an opportunity to read or have you read to them and work through the social story. It also provides clear instructions for what the expectations are. They can address feelings as well through the social story that is being shown to them, and it strengthens their memory and what to expect when these situations reoccur. So to get started for building a custom social story that meets the needs of your child, the first step is identifying the social situation you would like to help your child with. So there's many examples of what you may be wanting to help your child with. Some of them include how to social distance, because that is a new thing that we are all experiencing right now. Another one is washing hands, asking for a break, asking for help, or cleaning up a mess. So to move to step two, it's important to pick out visuals for this story. So once you've discovered what you want to teach them, you want to find pictures to go along with your story. Some of them can include clip art or photos you take yourself. You can also use illustrations that you would like to draw. It's just important to make sure that the pictures are clear so the child understands what is being expected. So for step three, you want to format your social story. So once you have all your pictures, it's time to give a description of what each picture means and what the expectation is for the child in that step. And then it's time to put that into a story or a package. So in order to do that, you want to ensure that it's minimally cluttered. And what I mean by that is keeping one image and one description per page. So it's very clear and there's not too much to be looking at all at once. Um, and then step four, it is time to read the story. So once you've had it formatted and you've gone through and you feel that it gives a good description of what the expectation is for your child, it's time to set aside time for you and your child to go through the social story. And it's important to also ensure that your child feels motivated, is attentive, and ready to learn. In the time that you are going to present the social story, to ensure that they do take as much information they can from the story, and they are able to digest the information and keep that in their memory. And then there's step five, which is role playing and modeling. So role playing and modeling helps the child with this to solidify, the social story and the social situation that's being expected of them. So provide positive reinforcement through each step that is completed when you are going through the role play and modeling situation. If your child doesn't understand exactly what's being asked in that specific instruction you're going through, use modeling. Allow yourself to do the step that's being explained in the story and have them mirror you, have them copy what you're doing. For example, if you're teaching them how to ask for a break, verbally express how you would ask for a break, keeping the information very simple and keeping the sentences very short so that they know how to express themselves when there is a break needed. To add some tips and tricks for when you are creating the social story and how you can make it as successful as possible for your children. Keep the instructions straightforward, like I said. Keep them very to the point, and use less descriptive words unless it is really necessary so that they can really grasp on to what is being asked of them. Step two would be taking your own pictures of each step of the actual social situation that could happen. This allows the child to see exactly what to expect, and it gives them that sense of confidence and preparedness for what they're going to experience in the future. Another tip is read the story when your child's in learning mode. As I mentioned before, you want to make sure your child's attentive and motivated and wanting to read the story, because that's how they're going to grasp what's being asked and what the expectations are. And at the same time, they're going to be motivated to learn. If they're not in that mind space, it may be time to take a body break, to exert some energy that they may have, and maybe come back to the story. You will know if your child's not interested, obviously, based on kind of the behaviors you're seeing, or the things that they're expressing to you. So just make sure you pick a good time for that, so that they are taking in as much information as they can from the social story. Another tip is social stories don't always work the first time around. Sometimes they need to be rejigged a little bit. Sometimes they're not clear enough. Other times you just have to continue to revisit the social story for them to actually understand what's going on, and for them to get as much information as they can from it. So it's really important to revisit social stories constantly. I'm not saying do that every 10 minutes, but definitely revisit it throughout the day, or days leading up to what the social situation is that they are going to go through. And then the last tip is reinforce each step completed. It's really important to provide reinforcement, because it motivates the child to make it through the step-by-step instructions for that social situation. So whether the reinforcement may be 5 minutes of a preferred activity, or a jelly bean maybe, or some form of food, if that's what they like, or a tangible item, something they can hold on to. It really depends on what your child's needs are and what they enjoy most, but reinforcement is really important to help them get through the step-by-step instructions for the social story. I just want to thank you for sitting in on this webinar, and getting some information for what social stories are and how you can help create one. The special needs inclusion team also does have some outlines that you can utilize, and some illustrations you can use to make it a little bit easier when you are formatting your social story. So if this is an interest to you and you think it may benefit your child, please let us know. We are here for you, and we are really happy to provide you some things that we have in our toolkits. And I also just want to mention that we are here to support you at any point. So just send us an email. There's the three of us, Brittany, myself, and Orlana. So please just jump in and send us an email, and we will help you uh, um, kind of problem solve and get through the trial and errors of what you may be experiencing. And we're also here to listen as well. So like I said, we are here for you, and if there's anything, just send us an email. I appreciate you sitting through this Social Stories 101 webinar, and I hope that you got some information that will help you with building your own social story and benefiting your children. Thank you, and have a good day.